Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Nanyang Spectrum. I'm DJ. Today, we go to a pet fair and see how pets are living the sweet life while owners go back to school. Can't get enough of food? Our foodie reporter Joel risks all when he attempts a burger challenge at the Little Diner on Bukit Timah Road. The prize? A free meal. And some of Singapore's beautiful historical monuments have been gazetted. Francis reports on the importance of preservation rather than construction.
And in Let's Talk, does the name Adler Poe sound familiar to you? Well, it should. He is the entrepreneur responsible for the first luxurious hostels here in Singapore, the Adler Hostel.
Now, let's go on to our first story. The Pet Expo is an annual event where pets and owners can come together for some fun. Owners can learn more about their dogs, and dogs can be tested on how obedient they are by joining challenges.
For many pet owners in Singapore, loving their pets means showering them with the latest and most expensive products. A pet cushion or bed can easily cost up to $200 depending on its material and design. But at Pet Expo 2014, the hundreds of dollars spent is just a small price to pay for the sake of their beloved pets. With a variety of goods displayed, pet owners freely indulged to the delight of their smaller counterparts. Kelly Lee was one of them, and money was definitely not an issue when it concerned her dog's well-being.
They're holding them back because they know that owning a pet is very expensive. Medical bill is so expensive. All the pets food, everything is so expensive. But actually, if you really love your dog, you really want to spend a little bit more on them. We actually can afford whether we want to. We can spend or love ourselves with a good dinner. Why can't we spend a little bit on them?
Market research has projected that the total number of pets in Singapore would rise by 4.5% to more than 800,000 pets in 2016. Followed by higher demand for quality goods, vendors at the expo took the opportunity to get creative.
They even have ice cream for animals. Yeah, so I think that was very, very interesting. That's something I've never seen before.
Other than pet products and accessories, the event also allowed pets to compete in various challenges. For some pet owners, however, it was more than just about winning the competition. They made use of the opportunity to bond with their pets and learn more about themselves.
That's the beautiful thing about having a pet for me and Billy, because he forgets all the bad things that I have done, and he's always smiling, he's always happy. So it makes me learn a lot about myself and about the deficiencies that I have as a human being.
The numerous activities available also left participants with a howling good time. It has been a pet-educational and fur-testicle event here at Pet Expo 2014 for humans and their furry friends. This is Shaniza Adnan reporting from the Singapore Expo.
Now, to cafes because there's no such thing as having too many places to eat. This week, Joel visits the Little Diner where you can dig into some comfort food with a beer in your hand, or you can take the burger challenge and try to beat the clock.
Well, if you're looking for good, authentic American food and with an ice cold beer and don't know where to go, we have the place for you. Welcome to the Little Diner.
The ambience resonates with the raw, urban, chic vibe of New York City with its simplistic industrial-themed environment. From the chalkboard signs, menu designs, to even the table settings, the decor in the restaurant creates the semblance of being in an old urban industrial building. The Little Diner also serves the most delicious food.
The Little Diner offers some of New York's most popular dishes. Some of its signature dishes includes the Little Diner's truffle fries, and for the main course we have Mikey's fish and chips. And well, for dessert, you have a New York-style Oreo cheesecake to top it all off.
Besides its food, the Little Diner also boasts a huge selection of craft beers that are imported fortnightly to ensure its freshness and variety. And if you're lucky enough, you might just be the privileged few to experience some of their limited edition craft beers.
Well, basically one night, 3 friends and I, we were out drinking as usual, and then we were like, all the restaurants, the food out there, most of them is either processed or after you got to eat more and more just to fill your stomach. After that, we decided why not we just open our own place. Within 6 months, the idea came out. 6 months later, the restaurant is up and There we go. Roller coaster ride for all of us.
However, if you're a burger lover and have a huge appetite, the Little Diner has the perfect dish for you. I present to you the Empire Burger. And if you're ready for the challenge, try completing this entire meal in 20 minutes and you have it absolutely free. So, game on. There's only one word to describe this experience, and it's intense. Well, the food is definitely great, but I guess my stomach's just not big enough for it. So, if you're thinking of coming to a place where you can enjoy good American food, as well as just hang out in a place with a very nice, cozy ambience, well, make the Little Diner a place to be. This is Joel, signing off.
And in Let's Talk, we meet a man who overcame the doubt of others to become an entrepreneur. Today, he owns his own luxurious hostel based on the idea of combining hotel sophistication with economic benefits of a hostel.
Adler Poe obtained a diploma in hospitality from Temasek Polytechnic and now owns a hostel in the trendy Art Deco buildings in Chinatown. Adler Hostel caters to backpackers who want comfortable but affordable places to stay while traveling in Singapore. So welcome, Adler.
Thank you.
Tell me what motivated you to come up with this idea.
So back then I was still traveling when I was a backpacker. I've been staying in people's houses in couch surfing style. And then there are some places that you don't have like couch surfers offering you that space, right? So that's when I started staying in hostels. But I mean, if you're going to trace it way back, my father works for Singapore Airlines, so a lot of times we stay in the hotels. So it was quite not so comfortable for me. But eventually I thought like, you know, when I was staying in all these hostels, I was staying in the ones that were apparently listed #1 in the world, which are actually the ones in Portugal. And in fact, they're still #1 till date. And I thought like, why not we just combine both of them together, like the hotel and the hostel together? It would definitely make a new kind of product where, you know, it can cater to people like myself that really value privacy and high quality linen, bathing, etc. And we go beyond giving you quality sleep. We also extend out into giving you a very quality kind of social environment to be in.
I understand the hostel also has different themes. Could you tell us a little bit about the different themes?
Yep, so Adler Hostel was created mainly to give you like a very colonial kind of feeling. So back then I was looking at various brands in Singapore and I stumbled across Eastern Oriental Express. That was a really beautiful brand that I've always looked up to because it was such a brand that embodies you know, the good old times of the colonial times. Yeah, so back then I thought, why not just design the hostel just like E&O? So we have, if you, let's say you go into the chamber room, you open up the door, you look straight down, it's actually like it's some sort like a train cabin. So they're like top tier and bottom tier and all the way down. And it also has privacy curtains down, satin, and we're just playing with the colors of like brown, gold, warm tones, you know, to make you feel very comfortable. Yeah.
That sounds cozy.
Yeah.
So as a young entrepreneur in Singapore, what challenges have you faced?
Challenges, wow, there's just too many. I think we got the labor crunch. That's one thing for sure. Getting housekeepers are always on top of our list. We never can have enough of housekeepers. Next of all is competition, constant competition that are coming in, duplicating our product and enhancing its features. But I think in the end of the day, we always go back to our core product, which is quality of service and quality of sleep. So these are the two core values that core factors that we always go towards. And yep, so hopefully it has brought Adler Hostel to where it's supposed to be, which is Singapore's first luxury hostel. And
I'm sure it has. After all, it has received a lot of worldwide recognition as well.
Yeah.
So I understand you're also a model. So how do you juggle it, and how does that help with business, being so model, good looking?
Well, thanks of all. Well, I mean, being a model, first of all, you know, talk to the public, and you're actually representing a brand. And as for me, for Adler Hostel, I am the mascot of Adler Hostel. A lot of times, Taiwanese customers or South Korean customers, when they come through the doors, they're like, "Oh, you're Adler," and yeah, hi, nice to meet you. So I think it's the confidence that, the confidence that comes through doing the shows, you know, is being translated into having to meet up with all the guests. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, Adler.
Most welcome.
The Arts House turns 10 this year, and to celebrate the occasion, they're having a free open house in April. They also have a load of events planned, from performances and concerts under the stars to a treasure hunt on the weekends for the kids. But besides the festivities stand the centerpiece of celebration, the Arts House itself. A refreshing example of a gazetted monument in the heart of Singapore. So while Singapore's landscape continues to look more and more like a construction site where old gives way to new, at least there are some historical buildings that have escaped being demolished by developers. Francis discovers how these buildings are selected to become protected.
The Arts House, the Supreme Court, and the Central Fire Station are among 64 gazetted national monuments of Singapore.
A national monument is a building or a structure that is preserved for its national significance. There are two main criteria: historical and architectural significance. In terms of history, we are looking at how they represent important milestones in Singapore's history. In terms of architectural significance, we are looking at how the style of the building represents a certain era and how the ideals and aspirations of people of the past are conveyed in the building itself.
In a country with a population density of over 7,000 per square kilometers, older buildings often have to give way to newer ones. With land constraints and the drive for development in Singapore, how important is it to preserve this monument? So do you think national monuments are important?
Yes, of course. They remind us of our history and the sacrifices of our forefathers.
Yes, it is, because it reminds us of the contribution of our forefathers.
To better understand the significance of our national monuments, Ms. Fu invited me to a guided tour of the Civilian War Memorial. Gazetted in 2013, the Civilian War Memorial was completed in 1967 in remembrance of civilians who perished during World War II. The 67-meter-tall structure houses the remains of victims which were unearthed in 1962. The four pillars represent the four major races of Singapore, namely Chinese, Malay, Indian, and Eurasian. The pillars converge at the top, signifying a shared experience among races, and unity, reminding us of our identity as a multiracial society that draws strength from the unity of all races, and to never take our peace and harmony for granted as we move forward. Monuments like the Civilian War Memorial represent a tangible aspect of our identity, something we must never lose as we move forward. This is Francis Patrick reporting.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thanks for staying with us. Next week's gonna be our last episode, Melissa.
Yes, I know. So don't miss it. I'm Melissa, he's DJ, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.